Trump frequently uses phrases that were used by Nazis against their opponents, as well as by other authoritarian governments throughout world history, including Stalin's Russia. The use of that phrase has invariably been by dictators. See the article, quote, Trump keeps saying enemy of the people, but the phrase has a very ugly history, end of quote. The article was published by Business Insider in 2017. There are a large number of articles on this subject that can be found online. When used by authoritarian leaders like Trump, there is no effort to factually justify the label. Attaching the label to a person, organization, nationality, or religious preference starts and completes the claim without more. One of the Nazi phrases that Trump particularly likes is, quote, enemy of the people, end quote. Anyone who criticizes Trump or provides accurate information to the public is, in Trump world, an enemy of the people. The purpose of that characterization is to cause his followers to dismiss accurate information and to accept his reality creations without going to any trouble of actually attempting to verify the accuracy of Trump's statements. The ultimate goal is to turn voters away from even attempting to access media sources that provide information that contradict a never-ending stream of reality creations made by Trump. Trump has succeeded in that goal with what I would estimate to be about 40% of the voters who are now permanent residents of an Orwellian world created for them by Trump and who can no longer be convinced of anything that is inconsistent with the false narratives fed to them by Trump. Another purpose of the using the phrase is probably primarily financial. Today, Trump made this statement, quote, and I consider Facebook to be an enemy of the people along with the media, end of quote. That statement is found and can be found in various media sources on the internet. I took it from an article published in the Hill website today in an article titled, quote, Trump says he considers Facebook an enemy of the people, end of quote. Facebook is a social media competitor of Trump's mightily struggling Truth Social website that has netted only $3.38 million in revenues for the first 9 months of 2023, while generating almost $49 million in losses during that same period. I published a video discussing those facts, which I'm linking here in the More section below. Trump wants to shift Facebook users to his website, and labeling that company as the, quote, enemy of the people, end of quote, is designed to accomplish that purpose. Trump is the most powerful demagogue in U.S. history. I don't even think that is subject to debate now. Prior to his ascendance, I would have given that position, that number one slot, to Senator Huey Long of Louisiana, who was going to challenge FDR in the 1936 presidential election before he was assassinated. I don't believe that Huey Long could have beaten FDR. Long is now in the second position of effective demagogues, way behind Trump, in my opinion. The third position belongs to Joseph McCarthy, a senator from Wisconsin, whose ascent was cut short during the 1954 Army McCarthy hearings that were nationally televised by ABC. People could see then who and what McCarthy was. The key event occurred on June 9th, 1954, when McCarthy attacked a young lawyer who worked in the law office of Joseph Welch, the Army's chief attorney, in the hearing. Welch was asking McCarthy for the list that McCarthy claimed to have of communists working in the Defense Department. The list allegedly contained 130 names. Rather than providing the list, McCarthy accused a young lawyer in Welch's office of being a communist. This exchange followed. Welch responded, quote, "Until this moment, Senator, I think I never really gauged your cruelty or your recklessness." End of quote. When McCarthy resumed attacking this young lawyer who was not even present, Welch interrupted him. Quote, "Let us not assassinate this lad further, Senator. You've done enough. Have you no sense of decency, sir? At long last, have you left no sense of decency?" End of quote. The gallery erupted in applause. And that was the beginning of the end of Joseph McCarthy's power in the United States. I do believe that a much larger percentage of the population in the U.S. in 1954 reacted negatively to McCarthy's personal attacks on people for political gain compared to now. Trump has been engaging in ad hominem, vicious, and fact-free personal attacks on people far more frequently than McCarthy ever did. And all of those attacks that Trump has made have been televised or spread worldwide through social media or other media outlets. McCarthy's attack on the young lawyer in the Army McCarthy hearings was like one of the first times hearings have ever been televised nationally on TV. Trump has been doing this, been engaging in these kind of attacks that McCarthy did during that day in 1954 for almost 8 years now, almost on a daily basis. And that has not impacted his power or influence among Americans that support him. It may have even enhanced it. An example is when Trump accused the former Republican Congressman Joe Scarborough, who had criticized him, of murdering an intern that had worked for him, a subject of another video that I published here, which I will link in the more section below. The McCarthy moment, have you no shame, have you no decency, has not arrived yet for Trump, unfortunately, and may never occur, since he is a far more superior demagogue in turning people away from accurate information and fooling people into believing that he is an honest person who has empathy and cares about those who support him. No one has ever reached the power that this demagogue, Donald Trump, has in America.